Wholeness and Balance Vibrations family. Trust Joel. Vibing Vibrations. Courage to root. The reflection of you. Just one of the many, and I'm honored to. Alright, so in the gym, tightening up. I did a video earlier, it didn't come through clearly. So on the way out, give you these jewels. Always. Alright, so trust. Trust is a beautiful thing. Trust is how a perfect world will flow in trust. And you see some of our noble ancestors, they created trust. They knew about trust. I'm talking about document-wise. I heard this about 5 years ago when I was picking up some knowledge from the university with Brother Savon Bowmar, and he said something that resonated deeply. And you know, sometimes you hear stuff, but you don't have enough awareness to digest it fully, or have enough enzymes to digest it fully. And he said, because we learned in some of the highest jewels within the spiritual growth or expansion, from celestial mechanics to quantum knowledge, that is this before its time, if you operate in time. And he said, the knowledge protects itself. Like, knowledge protects itself. Because someone in the comments, they asked, within the messages, what if someone takes this knowledge and abuses the knowledge and uses it for a negative or evil intent? And that question was floating around in the darkness of my mind as well. What if someone took this knowledge and manipulated it and started using people? Because one of the things we talked about was archetypes and how they're different. Everybody has an archetype. Based on your birth, zodiac signs. These are all archetypes. Leo season, with this black line on my chest. Everyone has archetypes, and there's learning more about numerology, how the stars flow, as above, so below. If someone can get this information and somehow tweak it to manipulate you, and this is on like the tip of what it really gets into. Like, it's not about zodiac or the signs or fully. It's more than that. It's the wholeness of it. And he said the knowledge protects itself. Because you can't even get certain ideals or levels of thought within the high echelons of yourself without diving into yourself and knowing that all is self. And as you begin to tap into that realm, lower dimensional negativity, as in like evil, it doesn't peak those echelons within the mind, within the heart, within the body. It's not something that comes natural in that space. And if in most of the time when you start to think like that, you descend, you drop, and then you fall and you try to grab all you can before you basically forget where you've even been. So I say all that to say, and another part of the lesson was a perfect world. How do you know when you get into a perfect world? And those thoughts of it not being, or the doubt, would poison the rest of the world if you brought that doubt into that space. Hence, you couldn't be in a perfect world, because your thoughts, your mind, or it wouldn't allow you to. You couldn't exist there because you brought that energy that is now veiled over you. It's a fence around. It's a boundary that you put on yourself because you've introduced that thought. Not saying it doesn't exist, but it can exist in certain spaces. Like my shadow can't exist in certain spaces where the light is. Like, it's impossible. It always be hiding behind me, or on the other side of the light. And if you're in it, know where it's going to be. If you want to get to the darkness, you know where it's going to be. It's going to be behind you somewhere. Or if you got that 360 spectrum where light illuminating all around you, outside of the physical, you in the spaces. And I say all that to say, fences, borders, boundaries, all have their spaces, all have their spaces within existence. These things exist. But as novice, or as guardians or gardeners, you put fences around things that can't necessarily protect themselves, or you think that they can't protect themselves. So you put them around your petunias, you put them around your garden, to protect them from rabbits, squirrels, bugs, whatever there is that you see that it may be dangerous to them, because they can't do that themselves. But let's say this is a baby, a child. This child grows. This child, we're in the living room. And in the living room, you exit the living room, you go into the kitchen. You exit the living room, and there's another door that goes to the basement. You exit the living room, it goes to open space to the workout space where you got heavy weights and stuff like that. So you got a fence in the living room that they can't get out. Everything in here is child friendly, child safe. As they grow up, the fence becomes non-consequential, because now they know that I can't go here because I might hurt myself. These are heavy, these are mommy and daddy's things, or these are meant for this purpose. They know now this is for that. They know the kitchen is for this. I can't touch this because this is hot. I can't go in here because this is sharp. And then they learn the level of discernment based on the environment that they're in. Knowledge protects itself. As you become aware, now you know better, you do better. And then they continue to grow. Now they can pick up and set their own fences when they need to. But as you grow up, fences and borders has to only be used for a period of time before you open up to the rest of the experience. So, for example, if your chakras are blocked, you can't experience the beauty or the blends or the merger with the other chakras, because you can't access them, because it's like step ladders. You can't get into the other spaces because you locked yourself out with the borders, based on, let's say, your root chakra. You had certain scars in your childhood, or like, let's say, even sexual traumas. Like, you have a hard time getting into the heart spaces when you're making those later connections with other people, even, let's say, spouses or other partners that you engage in, because that chakra was then damaged. It is not until you go down there, fix that up, release those boundaries and that hurt that was keeping you locked into that experience, that allows you to expand to other experiences. Boundaries and fences keep things in, and it also keeps things out. You hear what I'm saying? If you got them up, you can't get out, and nothing can get in. So when you say I can't, I don't, I won't, you are putting a level of boundaries up there. Be open to the experience, even just not even saying that and just thinking about it. Be open to the thoughts of other spaces merging with, because all this stuff. And once you know that, everything is part of you. This car here is not mine, but it's part of me. It's part of my experience here, and it's a dope car. I can't say I won't come close to the car because the car's not mine. It's not, but it's there, and it's dope. I'm chilling. All itself. So I hope that comes through as clearly as possible. Any questions or comments, though, please drop them down below. Let's be open to the experiences, because there's so much abundance coming in right now. So much abundance. It's a new year. It's a new day. And if you are closed off with those chains and locks from these fences and boundaries set forth from previous experiences, you're still chained or slaved to time. That time, remember when that, because that, let them go. It's time to grow. Wholeness and balanced vibrations. I'm Curtis Aru, the reflection of you. Just one of the many. Sharing love. Keep vibing in resonance. Stay hydrated. Get your workout in. Share love with a friend. We got some amazing things popping off, growing, and soon we're gonna make some things, some financial moves that are totally flowing, and anybody who gets in, they get rocking too. You know what I mean? So talk soon. Wholeness.